world to live up to your expectations. Neither are you here to live up to mine. Yeah. All right. Karma. Results of collective manifestation. I want to talk about karma. Ooh, they're talking about checkpoints today. I'm fine. I said I am. Who's that? Peter Tosh. I am that I am. I am. You don't know what I am. You need to chill. All right, hang on. All right, results of collective manifestation. I get the spelling right, then I'll bring the comments in. Good morning, everybody. Everybody good? Everybody calm? Are we fearing? Are we in fear? Remember this. There's a difference between being calm and recognizing danger and being in fear and manifesting problems, right? There's fear and panic go together, manifestation of more problems. We got problems to solve. We don't need to create any more than what we already got. All right, there we go. Thingy, let me put the thingy in the comment thingy, then we'll get to going. Chickens always come home to roost. They always come home to roost. Now, the chickens, sometimes they come home upset. You might be able to change the wave that goes out to alter the karma that comes back. I'm running low on space. Yeah, I'm supposed to run low on space. What's supposed to have happened? Good morning. All right, hold on. What do I do? Let's go over to BK. Let's get this over here. Flip that down there. Stories of tanks. Rolling around, was it LA or San Francisco and New York? Well. This is not the world I want. Well, it's the world we bought. It's the world we paid for. We pay for all of this. I don't blame anybody when I don't make my bed. I didn't make my bed. I have nobody to blame. Good morning. Who's that? Hillary? Good morning, Hillary. I made this bed. Oh, I'm about to sleep in it too. But of course, all of this can go a positive direction. It's really up to us. Need to go out here. Mark to let me post this out on Facebook today. Let me see if I can post the link real quick. I don't think I went to Facebook jail yesterday. I don't think I did that yesterday. I think they gave me a break yesterday. All right, hold on. Let me post this out here. Karma is a thing. And the things that we cheer our authorities to deploy elsewhere will always come back on us. Always. That's history. That's how it always works. Everything's always interconnected. And we don't always know what karma is. We just know that karma is just. Speaking of just, well, I don't know if I want to go there yet. I don't know. I don't believe the Q stuff. I hope it's real. I do. I just don't believe it's real. They sent there's a link going around. So many things we could talk about. But there was a link going around yesterday where they filed in court, oh my gosh, against Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, United States Corporation, and the Democrats. And I don't know if the Republicans were on there too, the banks, and just, everybody was on there for everything, for free speech violation. Some court in California, somebody filed it against. They filed for a hearing for AI and what is it? AI blocking free speech, social media, robotic bees. They had everything. They put I didn't read the whole list of all the things that they were filing. And I was, I try to tell people stay calm and ask a professional. So I posted out there to see if a lawyer would respond. But just remember this, people can always file against anything they want. They can file against you because you're blue. They can file against you because they don't like the name Coco. They can file against you because you're named after Hillary or she's named after you. People can file anything they want. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. So I don't think that's evidence of Q anything. Unfortunately, I know this much about the legal system. I do know It doesn't work that way. Just because you have a paper that says you filed doesn't mean that the judge is going to hear it, and it doesn't mean that that judge has any power over his bosses who actually run the whole damn system. So yeah, I'm not really on that whole Q filing thing. I just any paralegal, any person, grandmama can file a suit against Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton and the foundation and the left-right. It doesn't really mean anything. I think it's a distraction. I hope I'm wrong, but I think it's a distraction. A lot of interesting things happening. Creepy world we live in. Do you going to bed with your $1,200 in $1 bills? Hillary, I'm gonna do my best. I don't really want it. I don't want the blood money. I think I'm sick of it. I'm gonna do my best to not want it. I don't know how that's gonna work out. We'll find out. But I would love to say, let's tear it up, because it's not really money. It's a tax credit. It's not even money. They gave the real money to Wall Street. We didn't get money. Anyway, good morning, everybody. How y'all doing this morning? I'm surely not named after that woman. I was named after a 70s news anchor, Hillary Brown. Okay, Hillary, but thank you for clarifying. Y'all can stop saying Hillary is Hillary and she's faking. No, Hillary is a real person. She was named before the other Hillary. Besides, she's not a witch. Witches don't come to only good witches come around here. So it's interesting. I kind of want to look at the timeline. I want to look at people sending me stuff, and like I said, it's just so much. It's so much. Good morning, Jonathan. How you doing this morning? Good morning, Christine. How's everything happening in your neck of the woods? Here for class, Megs. This is not class unless you mean learn from everybody. You're not learning from me because I don't know what's going on. My phone is blowing up. It's the funniest thing, Megs. She's like, what's going on? I have no, how am I supposed to know? The Rothschilds don't email me. You know, I just think that the people who said this was coming were a little more in the loop. And now it's just on all levels. Everybody's trying to make money in this disaster of whatever it is. I try not to touch on it because if I say anything, I always get in trouble. I don't believe it's 5G. It's like, it's 5G, you're CIA. I don't think it's the aliens. It's the aliens, you're CIA. I don't really think it's Donald Trump going to save poor children from pedophiles. You're CIA. You can't say anything. I just think there's a financial issue and they're trying to stay in power and everything else just happened. It's colliding. Nobody might be in control of this. This may not, it is a pandemic. It was planned from the beginning, but who knows what's happening right now? Who knows? There's just so much. So I don't even know where to start. All I know is karma is a thing. We manifest it collectively, and that sucker and them roosters, the karma and the roosters, they always come back. When they come home, karma might be a little moody, so you need to make sure that you're doing the right things. You're loving people, making sure you build a nice roost for karma. Make sure you're growing some food for karma. Make sure you're looking out for karma. I think at the principal level, we have answers. I don't think there are any answers in the side effects. I don't think we're allowed to know anything. Good morning, Lori. You shared things. Did y'all see Lori's post yesterday? I mentioned it yesterday. She done blew up, girl. You went viral. Did y'all see that? Because people want to hear. They want to know what's going on. Lori had a bomb stickity post yesterday. Anyway, good morning, Christine. Let me see. Here so peaceful in the garden. Have no time for other things. Don't know anything. With that, and that's the existence, the state I think we have to live in, Christine. We can't let things get us excited. We just have to accept that this is how the world is for the moment in time. We built the world, and I've done my part, and I have no interest in blaming anybody else for where we are. We are where we are. How do we make the best of today? I think karma is like a wave energy. It's like a wave pattern in a lake. It goes out. We done did some foul things like this in Iraq. We did some foul things, right? We decided it was a good idea to tell Iraq and Colombia and Venezuela and Panama and Brazil and Iran and just everybody. We thought it was a good idea to go along with the NATO allies and tell everybody around the world what they were going to do, when they were going to do it, how they were going to do it. If they didn't do it, we were going to put some tanks in their country and put some checkpoints so that they need travel papers to go to Starbucks. And now it looks like the Americans are going to need travel papers to go to Starbucks. Actually, no, that's not true. That's fake news. Starbucks is closed for the Americans the same way it is in Iraq. Karma is a mother hubba hubba, and it always comes around. You can't stop it. We've already sent that wave out. Right? We've already sent that karmatic wave out around the world, and I think it's coming back. It's coming back. And I have a theory on how that works. Let me adjust this real quick. I have a theory on how that works. We're manifestation engines, right? We manifest things. And I think that if you can manifest things in your own life, you can manifest things collectively. And when you are so filthy, dirty, foul, funky, flipped up, flam, shenanigan, doing dumb things around the planet, enough people in this realm and in the next realm, enough wave spiritual energy creatures got negative things for you. And I think when enough of those negative things build up, you got people in Iraq wishing you bad. You got people in Saudi Arabia wishing you bad. You got people in Colombia wishing you bad. You got people in pretty much every Latin American country, in Congo too. Eventually, that collective manifestation happens. And we know that that happens on a personal level. It's science now, outside of the fact we were told 5,000 years ago. Everything's interconnected, and I think it's all interconnected because we're all gods and goddesses, and we all manifest powerful things, whether we know it or not. And those things always come back. So I understand that there are. So we saw the M convoys. I'm not even sure what I'm allowed to say before they start shutting videos down. They deleted. Y'all see, they deleted Dr. Buttar's videos yesterday. I think they put them back though, because they were gone for some people and not for others. You know, and not even doctors are allowed to say the things that they are. But I gotta think. So we saw the M convoy. And that's got people scared. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. We asked for this. And then yesterday, they talked about tanks. They said in New York, you can see a tank every now and then. And it was either San Francisco or LA that they're sending pictures around that tanks are out. Okay, well, we asked for this, right? We did this to other people. So this is going to come home for us. So that karmatic wave already went out. And that sucker's coming back. The only question is now what we're going to do about that, right? Are we going to let that karmatic wave come back exactly the way we sent it out, or can we manifest an adjustment to that wave? And I think we can manifest an adjustment. I think that we, at the principle level, we can do positive things if we wish to. So, yep, you will have the needed checkpoints. I got a text this morning and said, I guess in Maryland, they have travel passes now. I know in Pennsylvania, some other states, you're going to have travel. In Italy, they got travel. You get your papers, so you're allowed to go out on the street. And I think somebody in my family sent me that meme. You know the meme where it says that, you know, it's got the police pull you over and you put that window, you put the sign in your window that says, I got the cuckoo virus. And you think you're not going to get a ticket. I said, well, you know what? That's fun. It ain't going to work, right? Because if you're on the road, you're going to have your RFID chip attached to your digital currency, attached to your bank accounts, and attached to your social score. So the cop you don't have to put the window down. He's not going to get cuckoo virus, and neither is she. All they got to do is scan you through them. Oh, no, yep, your social credit score is too low. You got to go home. You can't be out here. You either going to prison, going to the FEMA camp at Walmart, or you going home. This is the world we built. We gave this to people all over the world. Now it's coming back to us. So we can shift that energy, though. I think we can shift it. I think we can do things to love people. Once again, you think I'm crazy. I say we need to plant food. We need to look out for each other, look out for our neighbors. We've been hating on our neighbors for a long time. That wave is coming back. The only real question is, what do we want that wave to look like when that manifestation of those, 5 million people who were murdered since 9/11? Do we want to shift that wave? Do we want to make it positive when it comes back? This is why I'm leaving for Oregon this week. Not getting stuck in Colorado for the next several months. People are leaving, Hunter. They are leaving, aren't they? Well, I see people out here in these Winnebagos. They're getting out of here. But you know what? I'm not sure if Bigfoot wants you up there, Hunter. Have you called him? Have you called Bigfoot? Have you called Bigfoot and say, hey, Bigfoot, listen, we're gonna come out there and camp out there with you. That's a good idea. You do want to be away from center area cities. You don't want to be too close to cities. And if you are in a city, you need to make sure that you got the ability to look out for your neighbors. They got your ability to look out for you. But in reality, we shouldn't live in cities. The whole city concept has to go. Oh, another thing, outside of the fact that people are scared of having permission slips to go outside because your government sent you to your room. Oh, gosh, it's just so much. Normal is over. Don't be scared. Don't be scared of anything I'm telling you. Don't be scared of anything I'm telling you. Just recognize real danger and don't be scared. Don't manifest that fear. Just manifest something constructive, knowing that the danger is real. Like the movies. Normal is dead. Normal's gone. Normal is not coming back. We ruined normal. Normal is not coming back. No, we're gonna have a new norm. Because just think about the movies. You think the movie theater's coming back? You think they're gonna bring the staff back to the movie theaters? Who is gonna go to the movies in the future? You know, as crazy as things are, and as much as people taking this news so seriously, and they're all feared and scared and texting and calling, doesn't know what to do. Who's gonna go to the movies? The movie theater is gone. It's done. It's dead. That concept is over. Nobody's doing that. I mean, I would, because I don't really, I don't live in y'all's world. I think y'all are silly. Concerts, big events, weddings, funerals. These people are so scared. And like right now, it's like an avalanche rolling downhill. You know, these things are getting worse and worse and worse in terms of people's fear. So all these things are gone. You think they're going to give you permission to plant food? You ain't been paying attention. Well, Max Joy, there's certain things that you ask for permission and certain things you don't. Oh, that's Max. Max. Okay, I had to think about who Max was for a minute. It's powder dry. John, Big John. Yeah, there's some things you don't ask permission on. Like I said, everybody has to ahead of time think about their limits. Think about your limits. Think about your limits. I have my limits. Listen, Max, I didn't care about them saying I couldn't plant food early. They told me I couldn't put a greenhouse up. I put a greenhouse up. They said you can't plant food in your front yard. I planted food in my front yard. So I'm not even worried about it now. I actually am a human being. I've got to eat food. And so I got to put food in the ground to put food in my belly, especially if they're banning imports. I'm not going to be paying $14 for a tomato. And I'm not going to let my neighbors do that. If I let my neighbors do that, they're going to starve and rob me and eat me. Okay? So, no, I'm going to plant everything I want to plant. That's when the world comes to an end for me. I'm fine with that. Say, oh, well, you can't plant food. You gotta have this vaccine to get your RFID chip to get out on the road to make sure you're not infecting anybody. Okay, well, that's when the world ends for me, because you ain't gonna stop me. I'm gonna do what I choose to do. I'm a god. I'm not one of these. See, John, I don't believe in authority. I don't believe in authority. I think that concept is gone. An example on that. Who was I talking to in the thread this morning? I think it was the other Christine. And we were having a conversation. We were having a conversation. We were talking about the whole Trump thing. Let me see if I can pull this up, because I'm gonna probably misquote her, me, and everybody else. Let me see if I can pull this up. We were talking about authority and whether or not this whole shift back, if Trump is fighting the deep state, pedophile, something, whatever. And in general, I honestly don't really care. I'll be honest with you. It's not significant to me, because they stole the land from somebody else, and they stole the land from somebody else. They planted flags and things that weren't theirs. They weren't sharing. And so I don't think that governments are sovereign. I don't think states are sovereign. I don't think regions are sovereign. I don't think towns are sovereign. I don't believe in that. I think humans are sovereign. I don't think anything else is sovereign. So do I really care about thieves fighting over what was stolen? Do I care about central bankers fighting other central bankers? Do I care about, who controls and runs the United States Incorporation? Who runs NATO? These are all thieves. They murdered, stole, and killed people to have what they have. And so their karma goes back and forth. I'm not really worried about if the Democrats or Republicans control of America. They're all thieves. They've all stolen what they've all had. The only sovereign thing, the only authority is you. Right? The only authority over Hunter is Hunter. The only authority over Christine is Christine. The only authority over Loco Coco is Loco Coco. So I'm not really concerned with what they're doing on a national or global level. Right? It's insignificant. It doesn't really matter to me. I don't believe in the concept of authority. You are an authority. You're a god. Nothing owns you. Nothing can tell you what to do. You make your own decision. Show me them seeds. I don't. Oh no. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh no. You're talking to Coco. That reminds me, Lori, of that saying the kids have that you have to. If you don't show me the picture, it didn't happen. That we need to do that. We do, because I think we got some gardeners, and we got some fardners. And I'm not saying Loco Coco's a fardner. I'm just saying we got fake gardeners. We got people who are really growing. I've been taking a whole bunch of pictures. I'll start showing y'all. I've actually, like I said, my little project is kind of, it might blow up into something else. I can build something in my area and look out for my neighbors, but it's not just about me. Right? It's not just about my area. There are some very poor, impoverished people who are at a distance that I think in the future I won't be able to reach. So I'm doing the best I can to put together some sort of grow facility initiatives for people and not too far from me. But take pictures, take videos, start posting it so people can look at and see what you're doing. Absolutely. Social distancing means interaction with AI. Makes sense. Yeah, Hillary, I don't believe in social distancing. I don't believe in that. I know we're supposed to say we do for government and for the sake of being team players. I'm not a team player. I'm not on that team. I'm not on team authority, team control, team nothing. I think it's flu season, and you need to be smart about that. You need to wash your hands, be respectful of other people. You got a fever, you shouldn't be in public. So I don't believe in social distancing, but they're giving fines for that now, Hillary. Did you hear about that? Is it New York? You're now, because Italy started it maybe, and now you're getting fines for that. If you're out in public and they catch you out on the street in New York, what is it, $500 fine? In Italy, if you aren't spaced from other people, they're going to fine you. And people think, oh, well, this is just temporarily, and they're going to give these rights back. Okay, you think so? You think so? You go back to normal? What government has ever conceded military power by force, without equating force? I don't know of any. There might be some, but in history, I don't think that's ever happened. Handing over martial law is a bad idea. And how do we avoid that? People have to stay calm, and you do have to listen to government. I know you don't like the sound of that, but you do. We cheered this. We voted for it. We consented to it. We made a police state, and we can walk a police state down, but we have to walk it down together in peace. You can't walk it down. I'm sorry, Max. Is that Max? Yeah, that's Max still here. You can't walk it down with force. They know how to deal with force. They're very good with force and aggression. They're very good with bombs and drones and lasers. We already put this in place. There is no they necessarily. Right? The government is us. It's our collective manifestations to a degree. Same way karma is. We manifested this beast. We can walk the beast down, but we have to do it peacefully. You're not going to do it by force. But once they have that power, once they have the power to control you on the streets, to control if and when you can come out your house, or they'll spank you, they're not going to give it back. They're not going to give it back. We can't let them have that. And the only way we do that is by remaining calm. We have to keep the National Guard, which are being deployed, like I said yesterday. They're going to be on the streets. They're going to set up checkpoints. They're going to make sure that you got the right to leave the house or not. They need to be there just doing checkpoints, because we've already paid for that in karma. Handing out food and water. As long as we're doing that, they're doing that, we're good. When they start using violence and force, trust me, the National Guard will go home. They're going to go home. They got grandmamas at home. They got parents home. They got kids at home too. You start acting stupid, they will ramp it up more and more and more and more. Let's keep these people nice. Let's keep it fun. Let's keep it, make some jokes. Make some jokes. Don't take that TV too seriously. It's like the TV. It makes everybody stupid. I like my TV with a filter. Let me show you this. Y'all seen the cigarette filter? You know what a cigarette filter is? I like to filter my media. In fact, I might do this. I might like just look at my timeline because I like my news to be filtered through my friends. Um, I like to look at other people's comments on the news, stuff like that. Here's a cigarette filter, right? Like, I don't watch the news. I still haven't watched any bits of it, but I like to have it filtered, right? Why? Because you got a carcinogen on one side with tobacco and tar and poison and pesticides and everything. You got to run it through the filter before it makes any sense. So I like my media news filtered through my friends, which is why I get all my friends mostly from social media. Not from social media as an entity, but as a collective thing of Hunter sees it, Loco sees it, Kimberly sees it, Christine sees it, Lori sees it, everybody on the list, Rebecca, and they say, okay, well, this is interesting enough or true enough to post. Like, I believe in collective information, but I don't believe in getting it from pundits. They don't control in the forest here. Nope, they don't. Well, they don't ever control in the forest is an ecosystem. Stick flowers in the guards' rifles. Yes, Lori, there was a great meme on the tank with that, right? They had the tank and they had the flower bouquet sticking in the front of it. That's what we have to do. We have to keep them calm. It's our obligation to make sure that the National Guard stays calm as well. And the only way people stay calm is people have to have food and be fed. We're not playing when we say plant food in the ground. Oh my goodness, you guys, the people policing everyone else social distancing is so annoying. Like, I have 6 peas in my fam. We like to go out for walks together. We're gonna walk 6 feet apart. FFS. Yeah, they always have their little thing. You gotta you know what, Coco? I try to let people have their little thing. Americans like their drama. I don't know how it is in y'all's country, but Americans, they got their little thing. We need to do this. Like, they need to have that thing, that drama thing. I let them have it, but I'm like, yeah, you're okay. I love it when the teacher hands down something for the children to do. Live your best life no matter the outside world. That's all you can do, Lori. Live your best life. Lori can't live Susan's life. Lori can't live Rebecca's life. You got to live your best life. No, Hunter's worried about the bears. Hunter, I'm with you. If you got a problem with bears, you should not be going to Oregon. You're going the wrong direction, brother. You're not going to catch me in Oregon. You know what? If you ever catch me in Oregon, and this is not against anything and anybody in Oregon, it's just you got bears, you got wolves, you got Bigfoot. You catch me up there, it hit the fan. All the feces hit the fan at that point, because you're not going to get me up there. I'm going to be in a place where I can grow. I got a place surrounded by community and people. There's enough predators in the city, and I'm not sure I want to choose between the predators in the city and the predators in the forest. Predators in the city, I kind of understand a little better than the predators in the forest. The predators in the city, they've been evolving for about 100 years to eat me. The predators in the forest, they've been spending a whole lot of time doing that. Oh, I know Oregon's beautiful, Lori. I want to go to Oregon when it's peaceful, where I can set up a grow farm and grow some wasabi. That's one of the few states you can grow it in. But definitely live your best life. Know what the enemy is saying. Always, Jonathan, know the enemy's language, know what they're saying, and don't ever call them an enemy. Don't ever call them an enemy. We're always connected. But if no one has money, no one can pay anything, just work together, no paying rent, no paying taxes, so the landlord is safe too. Exactly, Christine. And that's what I'm talking about. Smart people with real solutions. Right? When you look out for the people around you, they look out for you. You got to give everybody a vested interest in peace. Is kind of what Christine is saying. Give everyone around you a vested interest in peace. Do the exact opposite of your federal government. Do the exact opposite of NATO. Don't give them a vested interest in manifesting something negative and horrible for your country, praying to God every night. Oh, would you just blow America up? Oh, would you just give them a virus, a plague, some monkeys, wild creatures, an asteroid? Just take America out. National security is taking care of everybody. That's how you're secure. When everybody's happy around you and everybody's laughing at the jokes, we need comedians. We big time need comedians on all the major networks just to start making us all laugh at this ridiculousness. But yeah, when you take care of everyone around you, you'll be good to go. But don't feed into the fear. Don't feed into the craziness. Do not watch that television. Turn that television off unless you're watching Tiger. What's it called? Tiger King. I finished that yesterday too. Was that Susan? I finished Tiger King yesterday. Oh my goodness. Watched Tiger King with a filter. Finished it last night and saw his face all over my dreams. See, this is the problem with Susan. This is Susan, because Susan must have manifested that into my dreams. I watched Tiger King before I went to sleep last night. I finished it. I had to wrap it up. It was good. I guess in the end, they talked about the lawsuits and all that stuff. That was a crazy, nutty show, but it was more tame than America at this moment in time. Seriously, those flowers stopped the Vietnam War. I'm very serious too, Lori. Love, flowers, beautiful things, they walk people away from it. But this is why TV is so damning and dangerous. Like, the networks are fighting over getting people to tune in, and whoever can show the worst things that are happening, people watch, because people want that worst thing to cheer, and they become more fearful, and CNN's got to be more fearful than MSN, and MSN has got to show something that Fox isn't shown, and Fox got to show something worse than, and eventually you develop this avalanche of psychotic fear over things that aren't even real. And then the government responds to that fear because people get in the street and they act stupid. And this is what we need to avoid this time around. I wish I could ride with Hunter. Yeah, Lori was, well, I'm just kind of joking on Oregon. Hunter definitely needs to go. Everybody at this point in time, you need to be in an area that's safe, where you have something you're applying to the local community, you're contributing, and hopefully they're contributing to you. There are better dreams to have. Oh, Christine, there are a lot better dreams to have than Tiger King. It's a whole lot better dreams to have. Natural predators are better. Are they, Lori? They're definitely more efficient. I'm not sure if they're better. The Art of War is an excellent book. It is, Christine, and it's obvious that you read it. Uh-oh, hang on. Let me see. We stopped them by uniting, forming a militia. We talked the troops to get them on our side and keep marching right to arrest the people who are responsible. I know, Max Joy, but we've had that conversation before, right? No revolution has ever ended up good. None of them. None of them. Anytime you deploy violence to stop violence, you got violence coming down the road for you, right? Anytime you do that, it never works. It's failed every time we've tried that. We have to try something new this time. We have to go on karmatic principles, right? If you steal a stolen world back from the bankers and billionaires, eventually somebody's going to steal it from you or the next generation, right? The sins of the father always revisit the sons and the daughters, so we have to go a different direction. The troops will get on your side just by you being nice and feeding them. So would your landlord might. Don't use violence, because once you get this started going, it's not going to stop. And I'm not interested in a violent conflict in the nation I live in, let alone Saudi Arabia, let alone Iraq, let alone Iran, let alone Colombia, let alone Yemen. Like, go look at those countries and ask yourself if that's what you want. And that's not what I want. Our neighbors brought us salmon and a ton of walleye yesterday. Yeah, and that's beautiful, Megs, and that's what people should start doing already, is building. Oh, look, I got a subscription. Who is that? Oh, I can't see who is it. Who is it? Oh, shout out, subscription. Uh-oh, I'm not going to be able to see it in time. It's about to disappear. I'm sorry, subscription person. Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate that. We do this every day, Monday through Friday. Oh, hang on, let me do this. I apologize. I like to give subscription shout outs. Let me move that to the top. Here we go. We do shout outs here. All right, there's at the top. Sorry about that. So glad I'm TV free. Yes, Sandra, you don't want to watch the TV. It'll drive you nuts. You Hulu, Netflix, those are all good things. You can control like what you let in, when you let it in. Just don't be stupid as Susan and myself. Don't watch it before you go to bed, because then it's going to be in your head. United we live, divided well. Should have united with you. Oh, wait a minute. Hang on, Max. United we live, divided. Well, you should have united with you had the chance, or when you had the chance. Well, now's our chance, Max. Now's our chance. Do you want me to call you Max or your real name? Because that's weird. Now is our chance. Now is a huge chance to deploy peace everywhere. You know, now that the things that we've sent all over the world is coming back to us, we can take this moment and do a paradigm shift and create peace in the world. All people want is food, freedom, Hulu, Netflix, to be left alone. And you give that to people, utilize robotics and automation to do that. The world peace is a default. I believe it has the most missing people in the nation. If I go missing, y'all will know what happened. Yes, Hunter, I will know what happened. It's like the bear guy. Y'all remember the bear guy when he took his girlfriend up to go bear camping with him? He disappeared. Yeah. Nobody had to wonder what happened to him. Same with Don. Same with Brother Don from Tiger King. There are some things that are obvious that you don't really have to really think too hard about. It's either Bigfoot or wolves or bears ate Hunter. And Hunter didn't feel much pain because they're not like inner city predators. They're going to take you out quick and shove you in that belly. By the time we realize Hunter is gone, he's going to be a tomato. All right, I want to do the global meditation on the 4th. Are any of you going to join? I am, Kimberly. Now I know about it. I didn't know about it. Is this another global meditation where you get everybody together and manifest positive things? I'm all for it. I'm all for it because we know we are manifestation engines. And what's happening right now worldwide is a manifestation. We collectively create our own realities, and we've created a world reality. And karma is doing what it does. See, I don't think karma is a thing. I think karma is a collective manifestation. When enough people hate you, bad things will happen to you. Ivana doesn't get notifications at all from nothing, subscribed or not. Well, Christine, Ivana's probably naughty. She probably says truthful things. History repeats. Yes, it does. History repeats. It just likes to change the name a lot. History will keep repeating until we stop doing the behaviors that keep ending us back in the same spot. You raise the vibe, think positive thoughts, manifest positive things in your world. Don't manifest the fear. Just watching the news alone manifests fear. You don't have to go tell people, because the most horrible thing that they see on television in the news, they go tell someone else, right? And they tell someone else, and they tell 2 people, and they tell 8 people, and they tell 16 people, 32, 64, and it creates this collective fear. And we need collective peace. We need collective calm. We need collective cannabis. I am the most posting cannabis person who's never smoked cannabis in his life. But it makes people calm. And that's what the people need right now. They don't need mainstream news. They need cannabis news. That's what they need. How are they going to handle the comedian when 5G turns on and people are really dropping like flies and the comedian joking about it? Can't wait to see. Well, 5G is not rolled out, Max Joy. 5G, it was confirmed to me this morning, actually, when I told everyone to upgrade your phone. Did y'all upgrade your phones? I told everybody to do that. Remember I told you that the 5G, your phone is 4G, and for it to become a 5G transmitter, you need to upgrade to 5G. So I said, upgrade your phones, get your 4G phone, and make sure you got the one that works now and you got your backup. So that way you don't have to go to 5G. Because I'm not sure I believe that 5G is the cause of the cuckoo virus. I don't know that I believe that. I know, and the people immediately, yeah, conspiracy. I know. I know 4G can contribute to disease. So 5G does not have a part in what's happening now. But most places don't even have 5G. And besides the point, as an IT person, I tried to explain 5G to people. There's no such thing as 5G. The G stands for nothing. It means generation, literally. In New York City, they've had something called 5G for T-Mobile for a few years now. But it's not the same gigahertz. It's all about the gigahertz. It's all about the wave. That's what does the damage, right? If you crank it up to 60 gigahertz, then that wave is about 2 inches. And so you got multiple waves going through you. 4G, that wave, which is 4.2 gigahertz, is 2 feet. So the G means nothing. You say 5G, so these maps that show 5G and the cuckoo virus synced up, you know that they don't mean anything. I know you don't want to hear that. I know, people, but unfortunately, I have to tell you what's true. I got to tell you what's true. T-Mobile doesn't use 60 gigahertz. They use something else. They use a lower gigahertz, right? That in my understanding, it's more like the sub-frequencies that are less than 4.2 gigahertz. And don't ask me how that qualifies as 5G. You know, all these telecom companies get together, they create something, right? And maybe it's frequency bandwidths. So don't be too vested in any conspiracies, people. Don't be too, remember this, birth is a conspiracy. And ever since, everything's a conspiracy. Everybody's conspiring against you for your energy, including the conspiracy theories. It's just not the government. Everybody's conspiring. It's not in the news, it's conspiring. Your friends on Facebook are conspiring. Everybody's conspiring. So do not attach your identity and too invested in a time where there's conspiracy on all levels since birth, and we never actually know what's going on. They should not have 5G, period. End of story. Everybody has that in common. Why? Because it's untested. We don't know the damage it could do. It could cause a cuckoo virus. You know, we don't know. Like yesterday, we had watched the watch party on how you can't catch a virus. Do you really believe that? I honestly don't have any stake in the fight. Okay, you ask me about 5G, we can have an intelligent conversation. You ask me about software and engineering, we can have an intelligent conversation. You ask me about systems development, system design, single point failure in government, and down to building servers, we can have an intelligent conversation. You ask me what creates a virus, and I have no interest in joining a team because we don't know. We don't know, people. We don't know. Don't vest yourself in something you actually don't know. That's the craziest thing I ever heard. I don't know if 5G causes a cuckoo virus. We don't know how the human body works, people. How many times have we said that? We have no freaking idea how the human body works. No one. So no one can tell you definitively. So, you know, I got a bunch of pop-ups the other day or messages that, oh, you really believe that guy who said you can't catch a virus? I believe I know that nobody knows, and I like different theories. I like to look at what everybody has to say who is seemingly intelligent, who's done any little investigation or had any sort of experience in that field, and I'll make up my own mind. But I like the discussion. I like the discourse. Y'all still talking about military stuff? Y'all, I am not sick. I have 5G. Okay, so there you go, Lori, right there. And I think part of it too is manifestation. If you tell yourself 5G is going to make you sick, then don't get 5G because you are going to get sick. There's a whole lot to this that we don't understand. You're a god. You manifest that energy. If like Max, if you tell yourself that you need to have guns and bombs and tanks and stuff to overthrow the government, to fix things and save people, then that's what you actually have to have. You're going to manifest that out. Words are powerful. Words are vibration. We have to be very careful what we're manifesting. I don't think that's something I want to manifest, so I'm not interested in doing that. That guy was bragging about his IQ, and that was weird, Lori. That was weird. That was Lori, that's the scary part. You and I, we see the same things. I'm always a skeptic. I'm a skeptic on everything. I never vested I don't vest everything 100% into anything. We on Monkey Planet, y'all. We are literally on Planet of the Apes, 98% monkey, and everybody wants your energy. Everything's a conspiracy. As soon as he said that I'm smart, then I was like, okay, thank you. He said, oh, I did this and I took the test and this, that. And I like the guy. I love the guy. Don't get me wrong. And I believe he said a lot of things were very truthful. So don't give me that, oh, you don't believe it thing. I thought it was very interesting. It's just in the very beginning, Lori and I, we both had the same friends in elementary school. And that kid who knows it all. He gives you his pedigree and he tells you how he knows everything and he did this and that and the other. And I was just like, okay. I didn't hear any degree work. I didn't hear any, completion of anything. He went to a lot of different schools, but that doesn't mean he's not a genius. He could be a genius. I think what he said was phenomenal, interesting. I don't believe him. Okay, there you go. I said it. I don't believe him. And I don't believe your government either. And I don't believe your doctors. Okay, I don't believe them neither. My doctors are all naturopaths. Okay, I don't believe anybody. So it was a little weird to hear that in the beginning, but what he said afterwards was sexy as hell. Everything he said was very interesting, and it's very possible. That is true. Very possible. I don't believe anyone. He said most colds are bacteria, not so. And that's the thing, Rebecca, is I don't know. I don't know. I appreciate at the end, though, when he asked everyone to post their questions. I love discourse. I got inboxed, who was it, brother? I forgot who inboxed me. And he was asking me, he said, I guess he was trying to tell me what he knew. And it's like, okay, I appreciate that. But go post that on his thread. Don't post it on mine, because what am I going to tell you? What am I going to tell you? I'm going to tell you something that don't make any damn sense. I'm not a biologist. I'm not a doctor. I think you go post that on Dell's thread or go post it on that guy's thread, and I'll watch the discourse. Like I said, tag me. I love discussion, and I love discourse, and it's very interesting to me. And as an analyst, I will look at it, I will think about my own life, and I will determine what I think is true for me, and I won't really care what anybody else thinks. So that's why I did a watch party on it, because I think what he said is phenomenal, and I think a lot of it could be really based in what's true. But we don't really know the truth. We don't know all the truth. We invent the truth. Why? Because everything is a conspiracy. And we all want somebody else's energy. My mom played April Fool's Day joke with me this morning and said the government official was at the door for me. Oh my gosh, that's not a joke, Susan. I'm not sure if I want to read the rest. That's not funny. Tell your mom I said that's not fun. That's not fun. That is not funny. Almost had a heart attack. That's why it's not funny. Thought I was being toted to the FEMA camp. Mom has jokes. Mom, that's not a joke. Mama Susan, you make sure your mama hear this part. Miss Jewel, that's not a joke. That was not a joke. We love you to death. We do. That's not funny. We pay attention to our government. And this government is that happens every day in our world. Every day. Because we manifest that. We have friends who post enough pictures of Walmart's becoming FEMA camps. We know that that's real. Susan, we could have lost Susan right then and there. So anyway, I still said bacterial infections are secondary to viruses. Yeah, Lori, and you would know better than I. You're a nurse. That's where I get down. I just love to see the discussion. I believe what works for me. Oh, yes, Christine. And that's what you do, is you listen to what everybody has to say, and then you apply that to what you know and in your life. And if it works out, good. That's a great thing. But if it doesn't work out, then good. Then you know what, it doesn't work for you. And that is the main bone I have to pick with the pharmaceutical industry, because everything's based on ish. Everything is based on a percentage of what works and what doesn't work. And that to me is stupid. We literally should not be making industries that are based on things that are kind of true some of the time in the right bodies with the right this and the right that and the right dosage sometimes, but not all the time. Positively need to take control from the sociopath. Can't get more positive than that. Peace on earth, already people. Yes, Max Jordan, we got that in common. We absolutely have. Max's heart is in the right place. I don't think your method's going to work. That's what it is. Think about it like this. They're always controlling us with psychology, right? They're always abusing our evolved abilities in things. Anytime your enemy is trying to provoke you into a violent response, you never give them that. Never surrender that. Anytime they're trying to provoke you into a peaceful response, never give them that. Anytime they're trying to provoke you to go left or to go right, go the opposite direction. The Art of War, Christine posted that a minute ago. You should definitely read that. Never let your enemy drive you. Anytime you're letting your enemy drive you, they've already won. Right? Never let anybody provoke you into anger. It's like the trolls online. Like, you know how the trolls win? And it's not by losing a discussion. Well, I got the trolls because I posted some facts and the trolls, they didn't like that. And I got them. They actually weren't there to be right. They were there just to get your energy. They were there just to get you so upset and angry that you would flip out to control your energy. Right? If that is if your enemy is authority, then and they're obviously trying to provoke you into a violent response right now, that's exactly what you should not do. Otherwise, you've already lost. Right? The minute you start letting something else lead you around on the chain, you've already lost. Doesn't it seem like all this sterilization and isolation will only serve to create more superbugs and narrow our immune system's repertoire? Kimberly Jackson, and that's hate speech. The problem is you speaking real biology. Got everybody together. They're not getting any sun. They're not getting any vitamin D3. They're locked in their house. They're locked in with all the technology. And here's the one thing for the 5G conspiracy. And because I was thinking about this yesterday, I don't not believe it. And I don't really believe it. I don't know nothing. But I was thinking about it. If I created something called 5G and I needed people to be in the areas, I put certain 5G and certain power implementations. I need to control things at a class level. I've determined that the poor people need this and the wealthy people be protected. Then it's not going to be based on where you work. Right? I would have to deploy 5G or 4G, whatever it is, in certain areas for certain people. When you're at work, you all work together. So what I would do is I would make sure everybody was at home. I would make sure that all the poor people are in the poor neighborhood, all the wealthy people, my friends, in the wealthy neighborhood. And I would have a map where I would determine who gets sick and what. So that's how I would do it. If I were a crazy psychopath and I was born a billionaire and I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, because they just doing what they're supposed to do. That's how I do it. But I don't necessarily believe that. I don't. It's just interesting. But yes, everyone's sitting at home with their own technology, with their own waves, and sitting at home, not moving, sedentary lifestyle. And we're going to be here for months. The way the fear is ramping up, this is not a few weeks event. It's not a month event. It's not 2 months. This is going to be a month's event. And part of me thinks if we don't rail back the fear, we're not going to get out of our open air prison, our house arrest. Mom's not going to let us out till we have RFID chips. We have the vaccine schedule, because they're not going to let you out for just one vaccine. It's like, I'm going to get that vaccine, I'll be good to go, I can go to work. No, that's not how government, that's not how power works. It has nothing to do with government. It's not how power works. Government is a manifestation of all of our collective failures. Okay? And so power never concedes and power never backs down. It takes as much as it can, and it will go for as long as it can. As long as the fear is being ramped up, they're going to secure more power. They're not going to have one vaccine for you to go to work from the cuckoo flu, because then they're going to want to vaccinate you from this and this and this and this. And you'll have a shot record. They did it for the children. If they did it to children, of course they'll do it to you. So like a dog, you're going to have your 16 shots before they let you out in public. And everyone will cheer for it. Right? Because they're all going to be scared of the cuckoo flu. They're not going to go to they're not going to go to the movies. They're not going to weddings. They're not going to funerals. Everybody's going to be scared of the cuckoo flu and you. And they're going to agree with you being locked in your house until you get your shot record like a dog, get your dog tag, and your RFID chip says you got all the things that they need to be protected from. That's what fear does. What is this? Oh yeah, this is this ties on with the earlier post I had posted. I don't know, I think I got like half a like. This is an add-on. I did a meme. Maybe my grammar was wrong. Oh, let me go now. This one right here, nobody liked this one. I got half a like on this one. Remember consenting to the Iraqis in Iraq, needing foreign travelers permits and checkpoints with military because it was good for them. It was good for us to tell them what's going to needed to be keep them safe so we can keep our world and steal their oil. Remember, we all cheered for that and we voted for that. Democrats, Republicans, NATO allies, send the troops. Hey, boo, it's here. It's here. They got the tanks on the trucks and they got the checkpoints being set up. Anything that you deploy to your enemy will always come home to you. It's what chickens do, it's what karma does. And I got half a like. That's why I know it's an important post. That's why I'm showing it. And to follow that up, I try to explain this. This is just how not me. I'm not explaining this. This is just how the world works, how it's always worked. You are free to choose, but you are not free from consequences of your choices. We're not free from karma. We're not free from karma. We've deployed it, it's coming back. The only thing I think is karma is a dynamic thing. Like, oh, let me see what I posted above that. Right? It's not a finite thing. It's a dynamic thing. We can love that karmatic wave that's coming home to roost, and all the tanks and MRABs and all the things that we've given our local sheriff department and Homeland Security, what we've done to everybody else that everybody's been wishing on us, manifesting on us collectively. We can change that wave while we still have some power, starting to feed people. You can manifest love out. So yeah, who's that? Kimberly? Post that July, was it? You said July 4th or April 4th? July 4th, we may not be here, girl. Hopefully it's April 4th. Post that, because that's going to be a good thing to be a part of. Manifesting and meditating on love and undoing of all the karma we've sent all around the world. You know, we can't, once you send that wave out, the wave is coming back. And you're not free to say, oh, I don't want this. We created this, we manifested, and government did precisely what we all manufactured, consented to, and power does what it's supposed to do. There is no they. It's just us. All we do is manifest. Gates has a vaccine patent. Yes, he does. 2 years ago. And in Wuhan, they said in China, they had a patent for Corona 19 in 2008 or whatever it was. Somebody post the facts, because you know me, I'll misspeak a day, a year, dollars, cents. You know, but it is. And that's very real. And this is in what Lori just said right there. Don't take that as something to be fearful about. It's just information. We manifested that. We can't be upset with that. We created the whole vaccine program for the whole world. We were okay when they were vaccinating the people in the Congo and where was it, Liberia? Where was that place where they had started sneaking in the sterilized drugs and sterilizing young ladies and stuff? We did all of this. So of course that's coming home for us. We can shift the energy. But yeah, and this is Gates. In fact, I got a post the other day. Did y'all hear about India? India is in big trouble. Big trouble. But they've locked India down. That there are millions of people migrating, trying to get home because they can't, I guess they don't have any buses and trains and stuff, from the pandemonium. The pandemonium. It's not the virus, it's the pandemonium. It's the pandemonium that's getting people killed. I have friends in India like, we are falling apart. This is horrible. It's not working. And we're manifesting that. We're cheering. The news is getting worse and worse and worse because we're tuning into the worst news, the worst lies, the worst nonsense, and it's making it viral all over the world. We have to stop feeding the beast. I got to look at my comments over here because my eyes are horrible. Love and peace to the new subscriber. Absolutely. Love and peace to that new subscriber, whoever that was. And sorry that you didn't get a shout out. I apologize for that. Anybody who subscribes, we give shout outs to. We send you love immediately. We manifest peace into your life. Anybody's fearful, go ahead and subscribe. This is what we do. There's a difference between being scared and looking at information and recognizing danger. It's the danger that will get us to change our behavior, but it's fear that's going to make everything worse. Oh, there goes Ivana. Even though I'm subscribed, I still get notifications in the evening. Strange. No, it's not Ivana. You're naughty. You're a bad girl. Bad girls don't get instant notifications. They'll notify you when it's all done. I'm here about the same time, Monday through Friday. In fact, I'm trying to shift. I might start doing random stuff. I don't know. Y'all tell me. As important information comes out, maybe we'll do a quick live stream to talk about as things change, what we need to do. Maybe we'll do that. I've got to work on a few things in the background on the software side to make that a little easier for me. Facebook is acting strange lately, crashing and censoring posts. If you go to the actual site, the posts are there. Yes, Kimberly, because they have all this software that they were forced to roll out quickly that's doing shadow banning. And I think that's what happened yesterday to Dr. Buttar. He did the emergency live stream and he said they deleted his whole coronavirus series. Some people could see it. I couldn't see it. In fact, I took a screenshot showing I can't see it. He couldn't see it, but other people could see it. And then the sister posted the link on that thread and you could click on it and go to it. So it was there, but certain people couldn't see it. And that's an indication of software. That's an indication that they were actually utilizing some sort of shadow banning technique. All the sites are deploring it. Google, Facebook, all the social media. I had someone post the other day. I had someone post yesterday. They said, "Oh, where you been? I haven't seen any posts from you." I was like, "Oh, excuse me?" I was like, "You have no idea. I do my best to stop posts. I delete as many of my posts as I can before I post them. But usually about once an hour at least. You might get something from me. Once every 2 hours. I haven't seen anything from you in weeks. Where you been?" It's called shadow banning. When you're on the naughty list. If you want to see people's posts, like Kimberly Jackson is saying, you have to go to their page. You literally have to go to their website. Otherwise, you're not going to see. They control what you see. They're not controlling and deleting the content. They're controlling who can see it. And perhaps when they see it. They're controlling the notifications when they go out. History repeats until we stop repetition. Yep, Rebecca Costello. And the only thing we can do to stop repetition is stop the behavior that makes it repeat. How are they going to handle the comedian? Okay, we did that. The raise the vibe, yes, collective consciousness, yes, okay. Remember, go to work and support your community. That's right. The government says you are not allowed to do that. Wow. Absolutely. Well, Max, we've given them control. We've been giving them power for eons now, not decades and centuries, but we've been giving them more and more of our energy, more and more of our power. And powerful people are going to use the power. Government doesn't take power. I hate the word government because it really doesn't even apply to this situation. It's just powerful organizations. Powerful organizations require power, more and more power. And as long as we're willing to give them power, they're going to take it. Media companies, big news media, they need more and more people to tune in. And as long as we're tuning in and we're feeding into the negative energy, they're going to continue to show us worse and worse news. And so even that's going how it's supposed to. They claim the authority to tell you when you can leave your house, when you can't. You can go to work, who can go to work, who gets to have a business, who doesn't. And if anyone doesn't know who George Orwell is and 1984 is not supposed to be an instruction manual, then you need to read it. I can't go to your page. It shows most very old news. Well, Christine, that's kind of how that works. We're not, these aren't our sites. They control what people see and when they see it. I mean, you could literally go to my page and if they have the software tweaked so that it just randomly only shows old posts, it'll only show that, or hiding certain posts. Sometimes I think if you click the exact link, you can get there. But that's the problem of living in their matrix. We have to do more to get out to our own websites. We have to do more to get into our own local communities. We have to do more because anytime we're in their matrix, we plug into their matrix, they control what we see and don't see. They put 5G on my phone, Lori said, converted it without my consent. Lori, they can't do that unless you've already had the 5G component. Right. So remember, so 5G, it means nothing. What matters is the gigahertz. So T-Mobile, if that's who you have, and I think other carriers do it too, they use a gigahertz that's not within that 60 gigahertz range, which is what the doctors were complaining about in Michigan. So what you have to do is look at your carrier and find out if they're using 60 gigahertz. But if it truly is 5G and they installed that special transmitter early, then I would not use that phone. I would leave the phone in airplane mode the vast majority of the time. I mean, I don't even talk on the phone now anyway. I've got a 4G phone. I never put it up to my ear. It's always on speakerphone. I'm that annoying person. I put it on speakerphone. I will not put that to my ear. Or I carry my headset. I plug the headset in. You want to do everything you can to avoid putting a 4G or 5G transmitting phone anywhere near close to your body. And it says that right in the warning manual. Convert it without consent. Yeah, and that's the other thing is when you actually get the phone, you sign these agreements, they always hide the ability to do a lot of that stuff within. Um, what we have not tried yet is exercising the Second Amendment the way it was intended. And I'm not saying be violent. We can do it without violence. We have the numbers and well-regulated militia. I hear you, Max, but you see how like you invested your identity into that, and that's why it's your thing. We've tried the Second Amendment many times. I mean, how many times, even without violence, how many times have the people shown up to the castle with pitchforks and torches, right? Like that's a standard thing that we've done, and it's never worked. King doesn't really care, and in this particular case, the Pentagon they don't care about your pitchforks, and that literally is what it is. Pitchforks and torches. You show up there, they're not worried about that. Pentagon is going to do what the Pentagon is supposed to do, right? Homeland Security, they're going to do what the energy gave them, and they're going to respond violently to a violent threat. You don't want to go there. You don't even want to approach that. You can, how's that saying go? You catch more bees with honey. Right? Everybody in the Pentagon has a belly. Everybody in the Pentagon wants to live free and be free. Everybody in Homeland Security wants to be. Nobody in the National Guard wants a violent conflict with their neighbors. Nobody wants any of this. Even in government. Like none of those people individually want horrible things. They're all indoctrinated to be a certain way, but we know we can undo all of that. And it's not with guns and violence. It's with giving people freedom, right? People can change themselves. We can't violate nature. You'll never beat nature by violating it, right? Everybody is sovereign. Everybody's a god. Everybody's indoctrinated to a certain way and a certain behavior. If you can love bad out of people we call bad, why wouldn't we do that? That's easier. Requires less energy. Who's that? Anna, good morning, Anna. Right, but never underestimate the power of the people defending their home. What is it now? Now that's a different story. Now this is Anna. Now this is where I agree with Max Joy and with you. There's a difference between somebody bringing violence to your home and you taking violence to theirs. What is this? The authorization of force is always authorized. You are always under authority as a god and a sovereign to act like a tabby cat backed into a corner. You always got that authority. But taking violence and initiating it that's a violation. Thus the word violence. It's a violation. Hold on, I'm start answering the phone because everybody, conspiracy theories are in now. Now people realize now people realize conspiracy theories a thing now. Oh, well, yeah, they lied about everything. Trusting our basic goodness with lots of resilient people who don't give up on humanity, not to lose heart. We find ways to make contributions to our world. Absolutely, Jennifer. Very beautiful. Absolutely. Gerard, thank you for what you do, man. It's been nice listening to you. Got to catch you next time. All right, Max Joy, thanks for jumping in. I remember, y'all, John, his heart is in the right place. I just don't agree with violating people. I don't agree with the violence. I think they're ready for that. I think that's what they want. I think they're trying to encourage that from people. And by they, there's no they. It's not Democrats, not Republican. It's just power. If you go back 5 generations using average lifespan, 72 years, you get 1600. When Europeans started settling in America, the New World can't be a coincidence. Okay, can't be a coincidence. Well, yeah, there are no coincidences. There's no coincidences. From, what is it, numerology to spirituality to where all the religions came from, the gods, the ancient, there goes Ty had a great stream yesterday. Those are all very real things. And this is a very real thing. Right, so this is the 2017 to 2018 stats for H2N3. 61,000 people died. 30,000 people hospitalized and 800,000 people affected. Just facts, and it's right from the CDC website, right? So that should put things in perspective, but also another perspective is that's over the course of a year, but we're not even close to being at a point where we should be running in the streets and acting crazy, where we should be shutting down business and shutting down economies. I'm fine with changing the world, right? We do need to change the world. We need to slam on the brakes to Babylon and the Roman Empire and violence-based decisions, force and aggression in law, and mass incarceration and war. We need to stop all of that nonsense, a black market Wall Street. It needs to die. But if we're not careful and we let the fear go the way that it's going to go, they're going to get everything they want, which means that you're going to get more Max Joys. You're going to get more Johns. You're going to get more people who want to respond with violence. And when you get enough of them, we're not going to be able to dial it back. We want to change the paradigm of the world. We do not want to end the world. But when you get competing forces that are utilizing violence, it'll get out of hand. And this is where it's going. So I tell people, turn off the news. The fear over 5G, but you got to level set with things that are very, very factual. The fear over 5G is over the top. It is over the top, Desiree, and that's why I kind of checked out of it. I don't really need to say anything on it. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to say anything because the doctors already did. The doctors already stated 4G is dangerous in Michigan, and that's it. So whether 5G is causing the coronavirus or it's making it worse, it doesn't matter. They shouldn't have it. It needs to be tested. It needs to be taken offline. It needs to go through peer review, right? And so I'm not going to debate people on the whole 5G thing. It's pointless. It doesn't change what we need to do. I have limited energy, and I want to put it in an effective solution implementing projects as possible. The doctors already resolved the 4G. 5G shouldn't be being rolled out anywhere. It doesn't matter. Internet of everything. You shouldn't want to be a thing to begin with. Self-driving cars, all of that sounds great, but it has to be responsible technology. So that's why I've kind of checked out of it. Leave the statement where it is. We should not have 4G. Because the thing about taking 5G too far, well, I don't say too far. Everybody's going to do what their heart leads them to do and their passion leads them to do. But the danger I see for me is if I push 5G as the cause of the cuckoo virus, it makes it debatable. And it is debatable. I just gave the means right there of how they could easily make it a drama, distraction, debating topic, right? For the fact that most people who talk about 5G don't even know what it means. And they think the G is related to the gigahertz and it has no affiliation to it. It's just the 5th generation. And that spectrum that they use, the gigahertz, it can be across the board. But if you stand firmly on the ground that 4G is a problem, it's not even a discussion for 5G. If you want to stop 5G, then stop talking about 5G as the cause of the cuckoo virus, because it's already deep in the realms of conspiracy and things that can't be proven. You can prove 4G causes cancer. You got the doctors in Michigan who say so. Everything is, Christine, the art of war. Everything is the art of war. It's not about what you know, it's about what you can prove. Don't get roped into distraction. That makes everything worse. And that's the other reason why I can't buy into can't buy into it. I'm not in the whole Trump is fighting pedophilia, mass arrest thing. I'm not there because, once again, it doesn't really matter in terms of an applicable solution. It doesn't matter. Pedophilia is bad. Violence is bad. Force is bad. You can't have a government that has that. Right? And if they have no secrets, you remove all that, then you find out who's been doing what, where, when, why, how, who was on what airplane, where'd they fly, who else was there, and what happened. I don't actually have to jump into, if Trump is fighting the deep state, or if the deep state's fighting Trump, or if Trump's bad or good. None of that actually matters in terms of an applicable solution. Democrats shouldn't have power, nor should the Republicans. They shouldn't have the power, nor see, because it's not about them. Mao shouldn't have the power. Genghis Khan shouldn't have the power. Obama shouldn't have the power. Trump shouldn't have the power. Nobody has power over you. It's a sovereignty point. But at what point in taking our right do we protect our homeland? Well, Christine, I guess it depends on what we mean by homeland. What does homeland mean? Like, what is your homeland? See, I guess for me, if I really think about it, Anna, I don't have a homeland. My homeland, if I had to think about it, my homeland is Earth. Right? But that's where my home is, and that's where I was born, and that's where all the species I survived by live, right? The bees, the birds, the monkeys, the microbiology, and it's all interconnected all over the earth. My homeland is Earth, right? My cousins are all human beings. They're my family, got 7 billion of them. And in terms of protecting, I'd have to say from what? From what is it that is endangering my homeland and who? And if I could feed them, if I could provide them the things that they need, that why they're coming here, would they want to come here? I like Kung Fu, Anna. I like to, if I can, get ahead of the problem and prevent it, get ahead of the problem and prevent it. It's like Iran. Would Iran come? No, is Iran a good example? I did this a while ago. Well, Iran, we'll go with Iran. If Iran could come here and dominate America, they would. Why? Because we've created a world where force and violence decide. Whoever has the biggest bombs is right. And that's a patriarchal concept. Whoever's strongest and can kill somebody else is correct. That's the mistake. If the people in Iran had food grown by automated systems and robotics, they had land, they had pools and houses, and they had good lives, they had all the things that they need, they had flying drones instead of drones bombing them, nobody in Iran would want to come here and kill anybody. Nobody in Iran would want to come here. They would be gods within their own right. We have technology of gods now. We could literally deploy what everybody needs everywhere. So I believe in Kung Fu. I believe in taking the problem that they have with us and fix that problem. Like if we want to build a world empire, all we got to do is feed everybody and give them all our technology, all of our life-giving green technology. The citizens would fall in love with that model. They'd fall in love with, if it's under NATO, say NATO. I don't like NATO personally, but you know, if it's under a NATO model, fine. And the people are like, well, wait a minute, so this is what NATO is like? You mean to tell me in NATO, you get food, you get freedom, you get water, you get internet and Hulu and Netflix, and you can live your own life? You can go out there and learn how to play guitar and make paintings and go to tractor pulls and drink beer. If you want to take a time off of life, you can grow your cannabis and smoke that, and the robots are doing all the heavy lifting. Then why the hell am I cheering this Iran government? The first government that has the power and the most enlightened, conscious people that give that system away, whether it's a resource-based economy or something like the Zeitgeist movement or Venus Project, and start using technology to get people to see a better way of living, everybody's going to want that lifestyle. And they're going to walk away from their governments. See what I'm saying? So that would be my question is what is your homeland and who's trying to invade it? Absolutely with you on getting ahead of a problem before it's really a problem. Exactly, Anna. And but with reality too, right? Which is, well, but when it's a problem, it's a problem. And that's kind of where we are. We've been building this problem for thousands of years. We've been doing everything we can to make things just horrible, consenting to it. So we still do have to deal with it. Like, I'm not in the fantasy world where we, okay, just shut down the military industrial complex and we'll just feed everybody. Oh, no. We need the Pentagon. Oh, no, we need the Pentagon. We got to fix the Pentagon, but we need the Pentagon. Oh, no, because those people upset, right? Like the heading at the top is karma. It's a result of collective manifestation. We can change that manifestation from billions of people that hate NATO and hate America and hope that we fall off the end of the flat earth and a turtle walks over us to, Wow, thank you, NATO. Thank you, America. Thank you, Britain and Canada. We thought you were crazy and psychopaths creating a world based on conflict and arms races. You've created something that everybody was waiting for. You guys finally figured out. You finally figured out that you were the lucky ones. You were the privileged ones. You somehow ended up in a country with the most power and ability to free the human race, and you remembered that you are a part of the human race, that we're all cousins, we're all family, we're all connected all across this planet. You remember the teachings of Yeshua Christ. You remember the teachings that we have to feed the world and love the world. And we did something like what they did in Bhutan, right? We created a gross domestic happiness. Is that I'm talking about Bhutan? Bhutan is the only government that truly cares for its people's happiness. That's it. End of story. If you don't know who Bhutan is, y'all need to go look up Bhutan. They have gross domestic happiness. They literally, you know what? I'm gonna say it the other way, Anna. That's the only government in the world I know of. That's the only government. If government is a we the people concept that's actually governing people and trying to make a beautiful living for the people, trying to share resources and just govern people, not dominate and rule them and force them to do what corporations want, the only government in the world is Bhutan. It's the only thing I see, the only entity that actually is doing things for its people. Wholesale. Right? Not selectively because this is the party that's in control. So we're going to take care of these people and forget those people. And we're going to rob Peter to pay Paul and play politics and games. A real government doesn't have politics. Not in its definition, not in my world, not in my mind, the way my mind works. A real government governs the people. And how do you govern a free energy or a free spiritual creature that needs freedom? You give it its freedom. Like, how do you govern a zoo? Oh, we were just talking about Tiger King. Anna, you missed it. We were talking about Tiger King, right? How do you govern tigers? Well, you got to give tigers what they want. Are they free? Do they need space to run around? Okay, yeah, they need to be free and they need space to run around. Okay, then you can't have them in a cage, can you? That's governing tigers, giving them the free world that they've evolved to need. And then you'll get that real genetic expression from them. They evolved to live in certain conditions. You got to give those conditions to them. And this is where PETA kind of gets around, and I've never sent them a dime in my life, and I never would. I love animals and I believe in animals, but I believe corporations are all corrupt and dirty. Fight for lions or monkeys or dogs or fish or anything to be free when you are a slave and you don't even have a government. Why would you go to those who are enslaving an entire world to banks and debt and conflict and control and war and violence to free monkeys? There's a problem. Right? And it's about being selective. People like to select. They have selective morals. They have selective principles. Right? The people of PETA have everything. Everybody in that show, Tiger King, they all had the same thing. They all love tigers. Isn't it funny how they were all put in opposition together? But Bhutan, I love Bhutan. It's the only government on the planet. Happy people, happy environment, happy. Who said that? Hang on. Lots of commentaries. Somebody said happy, happy, happy. I like happy stuff. Where'd the comment go? Did you delete it? Somebody said happy, happy stuff. There we go. Kimberly Jackson. Just like the saying, happy wife, happy life. Happy people make happy environments, happy life for all. It is so simple, Kimberly Jackson, and thank you for that analogy. Happy wife, happy life. Literally. Because your wife has things that make you happy. When she's happy, you'll be happy. When she's not happy, you won't be happy. Right? National security applies at the local level, at the state level, at the regional level, and at the marriage level. If you piss your wife off, right? You're sneaking around, doing dumb stuff. Piss your husband off, sneaking around, doing dumb stuff, always got an attitude, always pissed off, this, that, and the other. You're going to create an environment that's going to make you literally will make an environment that you will be a victim of. Unfortunately, Don and Tiger King. And I'm not laughing at what happened to the brother. I'm just saying that karma's a mother. Karma doesn't really care what you believe or you think. Karma is going to do what it's supposed to do. You cheating on her, doing crazy stuff, and just manifesting that anger and pain and whatever, and it's going to come back how it's supposed to. The same way Americans going to get these checkpoints. Right? You can't get outside of that karma, But that's why I love Principles Kimberly Jackson. If we stick to, and I don't always get it right, y'all. Y'all know I'll get lost in side effects too. I'll get lost in the drama, and I got friends that pull me back. But we have to focus on the very simple principles and things, and check each other best we can. Yes, poor Bhutan, they won't make it. No, they won't make it as long as we are the way we are, Christine, because we're cheering a world that's run by violence. And they're trying to create a world that's run by governments actually making ecosystems for their people and protecting the ecosystems their people need to be happy. The system we accepted and participate in is affecting our homeland. Rejecting the system, withdrawing our consent protects it. Absolutely. Very simple, Susan. That's it. You don't need a gun to do that. You need common sense. All you need is a brain. All you need is a heart, maybe some empathy, do a little research and a little reading. We have different choices for the future. We can choose for the best. One, we can neutralize negativity. Yes, we can, Christine. We can manifest that. It's really our choice. That's all we really talk about, is trying to get people to walk down from off the cliff. Oh, look at this. I gotta show you this. Get off of that cliff. Don't walk off the cliff. I'm gonna play on my timeline a little bit. There's so many smart people on my timeline. And everything that comes across is largely filtered. You see that? One day in the future, like our kids can look back and look at the American flag and the China flag and the politicians' flags and all that stuff and cheer it like, oh, you guys fixed the world. They can look back at today and think about the time where billionaires tried to take over the world's middle class globally, take over the world's currencies, kill off the majority of the population, like whatever you believe. They can look back at that time and say, hey, wow, remember when our parents figured it out? Remember when our great-grandparents figured it out? They were lost for thousands of years, but they finally realized that a cult was controlling them and they undid the system. But we can have that world. We can make sure we do more for the next generation than we've been doing for ourselves. That really is completely up to us. 100% up to us. Here's what I was talking about earlier. Right here. Right there. This is what was filed in California. So someone filed, and what I did was, I think this was so relating to the Q stuff. I kind of covered it up at the bottom right there because I don't want people to see the list. If people see it's Barack Obama, oh my gosh, all of a sudden they're going to go one way. It's Hillary, that's my hero, And it's just, anybody can file this. Anyone can file it. And I made a few points at the top. Like, I'm not anti to it. I still hope I'm right, and I hope this post blows up in my face. But I want a lawyer to look at it. Like anyone can file anything against you at any time they want, and it doesn't mean anything, right? It means absolutely nothing. A judge will decide to hear it or not. It doesn't mean the Q is right. Doesn't mean that Donald Trump is fighting anybody or anything. You know what I see when I look at this? One side is cheering the police state because they think that their king is going to fight pedophilia, which has never happened in the history of the human race. No lord or king has ever stood up for children. They never will. And the other side is fighting for, what do they call it? Not social engineering. Legislated social engineering, whatever it's called, where they're just writing law after law. So you got one side that's trying to create a police state immediately overnight to save children, and another side is told that the more power you give the government, the more equal they're going to make your society. And so they're legislating a police state. They've been legislating a police state into martial law. And I don't see any difference. I see two sides are sold a dream that ends us in the same spot of martial law. Do you see? Am I crazy? No, don't answer that. Never mind. Don't answer that. I know I'm nuts. I do. But I see two sides that are fighting for the same thing. To give a non-government, a corporation, to have total power over the people who can spank you like a mommy and send you to your room and you can't do anything about it. They can send you to your house. They can take your ability to make money. They can do anything they want. They can put you in a prison. They can do anything they want, what they want to do to you. Does anybody else see that? Two sides in direct opposition in my country who are fighting in a weird fantasy narrative where the kings and lords have never written millions of pieces of legislation and laws for the people, and laws not ever for the people. It's to control the people. And the other side, where it's the fantasy of a president would be stupid enough to stand up against a deep state. I mean, to me, both of that is crazy and is controlled opposition. Oh, we got green screen failures. You see this right here? This is a failure in the matrix. When things don't make sense, like this document, when a light falls, then understand you're probably on the Truman Show, right? Because what happened? I've explained this to you. It might be boring, but I geek out sometimes. A cloud just went over the sun. It altered the light. So now you can actually see that I'm not in a cannabis field and I'm not at that site in where is this? This is in India. It is a, who has this site right here? This is a picture of unity, of karma, right? Everything's interconnected. You can see the matrix is glitching out. And when you see that, you act. When you realize that both sides are fighting for the same thing. They're giving people who are pretending to be government ultimate power over all citizens, and no government has ever given that up, except for by force. So it's best that we don't give it to them. That's my point. But when you see the glitches in the matrix, you got to change your behavior and realize that dude is in front of a green screen. That's not real. I didn't think it was real. He can't have cannabis in his state anyway. That put him in prison. So yeah, I see the document filed in California, and I went out there on the website and I put in a docket number and I looked it up and I realized it was filed by grandma. It wasn't filed by Q. It didn't say Donald Trump. Oh, I realize now that they just want the same thing the other side does. So maybe when people say that both political parties are controlled by the same group, whether it be banks or whatever it is, that's a glitch in the matrix. This isn't making sense. I need to change my behavior. All right. Oh, Kimberly's phone's gonna die. Well, yeah, okay, you gotta go. That can happen. I thought it was just steam from the hot tub. No, dude, we're not in the hot tub, Jonathan. Why are you in the hot tub, bro? We were in the hot tub a couple videos ago. But that's what we have to do. When you see the glitch in the matrix, when you see tanks being rolled out in New York City, when people are texting pictures of tanks in LA, that's when you calm down and you realize that your government is serious. They're not playing. They're not playing. And I'm not against the tanks being out there. I'm not against the National Guard, because if that's what it takes to make sure that food is getting to poor people in the cities, because no one's trucking food in if there's pandemonium, then that's what I want. But we're all being walked into this, and we can stop it. We have to pause it at the fear right now. We can't feed into any more of the fear. We have to let the network's viewership go down to realize that people are tired of the fear. They don't really want to watch that no more. They want just the facts. They're tired of the pundits. They're out there growing food. They're feeding their neighbors. They're not going to play into the pandemonium. And that's what I hope with it will do. Yeah, for me, the thing about Q has always been great. You get rid of the deep state. What are you going to replace it with? There will be a power vacuum, and that's the whole point, Anna. There's a problem with you reading books. You're probably a domestic terrorist because you read books. There's going to be a power vacuum. And you think they're going to replace the deep state with freedom? Donald Trump. Like, I mean, y'all know me. I'm not anti-Donald. I'm not pro-Donald. I think Donald is Donald. That's what I think. And if I were Donald, born in his shoes, I'd be Donald. But the reality simply is, he's not going to, assuming he has the power y'all think he does, in which I don't. I don't know. I don't think any American presidents have power over bankers and corporations. Not in United States Incorporated. We have a board of directors that we don't know. They're not going to just give that power up. They're going to do what all powerful people who want power do. They're going to take that power and they're going to use it. So that's why I'm not interested in Republicans in being controlled, nor Democrats. I think Kimberly should control Kimberly. Christine can control Christine. Anna controls Anna, Jonathan controls Jonathan, and we give them the things that make them pleasant people. And Hillary controls Hillary. But maybe Hillary gets upset. I don't know. Maybe Hillary got some of that epigenetic going. She wants to fight and be Biden's psychopath. That's why we need a government, because we're scared of Hillary. She's going to go kill everybody because she's crazy. So, okay, well, why is Hillary crazy? Oh, okay, Hillary was raised in a crazy family, or Hillary was abused. Okay, well, we can do everything we can for Hillary, but we need to make sure that her kids don't display that epigenetics. Maybe we can turn it off in Hillary, right? You have neuroscientists and behavioral scientists and the neuroscientists, right, who say they can turn off those warrior genes that make people a little crazy. Okay, so let's give Hillary what she needs. What, she needs some vacations? She needs some cannabis? She needs to be out on the beach? You know, you can give people things to make them turn off that violence. Once again, being preventative. Same thing with Iran. They hate us now, but they don't have to hate us. You know, but that's what we utilize the professionals and what we know to help people become pleasant. But yeah, that power vacuum is going to be nasty. And besides, if Donald Trump is actually fighting the deep state and the deep state is fighting him, Russia's not going to sit back and watch that. China's not going to sit back and watch that. The Bank of Massachusetts ain't going to watch that. If they're saying, oh, they're destabilized, they're fighting, they're all going to jump in with their own disaster capitalism. They're all going to jump in with their need to try to take over and dominate that vacuum. We need equality for all people all over the world. That's what we need. Getting ahead of the problem. I like how you said that, Anna. Getting ahead of the problem. Just get ahead of the problem. Very short-sighted way of thinking. Yep, Kimberly. And because short-sightedness is the easy way out. We like to be short-sighted. We like to be told what to do. And that's what the news does. And that's what powerful people do. They tell you what's convenient and short-sighted because people will respond to that. People don't respond to long-term fixes. They respond to the quick fix. And that's why we have a medical system that failed and completely doesn't work, because people go to their doctors and they say, give me the quick fix. They don't say, give me some spearmint and I'll let it heal itself over a week as my body heals it. The system we accepted, the system we accept and participate in. Okay, I did that one, drawing consent. Okay, I'm way up there and I'm trying to see if I missed any comments. If mama's not happy, ain't nobody happy. And that's how it works, Rebecca. And you know the truth, because Rebecca got crocodiles in her backyard. She'll tell you the truth. If mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. You go in a house with a cat that ain't happy, because Rebecca got a bobcat. It was like a bobcat. She got a big old cat in her house. Not like King Tiger, but big enough. If that cat ain't happy, ain't nobody going in the house. Ain't nobody sleeping if that cat is upset. If that cat is jumping around, scratching, yelling, screaming, you know, ain't nobody gonna be happy in that house. If mama's upset, if anybody in the house upset, the whole house gets affected, because we're all interconnected. And the Tiger King started with good intentions and saving the tigers. Once money, ego, and vanity get involved, is when it went downhill. Thank you, Susan. And that's why that show was important, because you actually saw that. She saw the part towards the end where, what did he say, Susan? He said when he first got into it, he was against tiger breeding. When he first got into it, we should not be breeding tigers. He said there needs to be a law. He said there needs to be a law to stop tiger breeding. We should not be breeding tigers. While I personally disagree with that, that's the narrative that he got in. He got in and he felt that, you know, we shouldn't be doing the things that he ended up doing, and became the biggest guy doing it in the nation. That's what power and money does to you. That's why I said we're not evolved enough for money. We're not evolved enough for power over people. They have to go away. That's a principle, because you can see a great example right there. And to explain myself to people who are going to jump in, I disagree. We should not be breeding tigers. No, we should be breeding tigers like till we're blue in the face, and creating ecosystems for them till we're blue in the face. We should be breeding, what's the species that's from Australia we were worried about? That's extinct. They call it, a I don't know, logical extinction, something like the koala bear, right? Because a koala bear has a cancer that literally, it spreads Is it on contact? And so the koala bears are dying off. We need to be breeding koala bears. Why? We might actually lose a koala bear. Why would we lose a koala bear? Because we weren't breeding koalas. We weren't building ecosystems for koalas. Australia is one of the governments that says that they won't export any animals. So when the animals in Australia are done, they're done. Or they won't let anyone breed them, something to that effect. The only place you have for those individual creatures that evolved in Australia is in Australia. The only reason that we thought the Tasmanian tiger, who is now back, who we thought was gone, because we weren't breeding. I'm not against breeding. I try to look way down the road at the big picture and see if it makes any sense. And unfortunately, organizations, every movement has nothing to do with PETA or anybody else. Every movement is controlled at the top and usually is very single-sided in their approach. And once they get big and a blind following, they do things that don't make any damn sense. Right? If there are 5,000 tigers in the continent of the United States and there are 3,000 tigers in the wild, where do you think the biggest population of breeding tigers is? Right? Just because if you hate seeing tigers in cages and these people are abusing them, to me, the answer doesn't mean we need to stop those people, right? The answer is we need to stop the abuse and we need to make sure that they have the funding or the ecosystems needed so there is no abuse. They want to stop tiger petting. So, cub petting. They're against cub petting. And I don't know where these people came from. I mean, someone tell me if I'm crazy, something wrong. No, don't tell me that. Never mind. But the more humans that you get to fall in love with tigers, the longer tigers are going to be here. Now, I don't know everything about tiger petting. This is all new to me. So I'm talking off the shoot of my cuff based on what I know so far. If you have an environment where the kitty is happy, maybe Rebecca needs to chime in. I've had cats, but if you have an environment where the animal is happy, and it literally can pick and choose the humans that get to pet it, and the humans that get to love it, and the humans that get to feed it, is that not preferable? Unless is it? I mean, tell me what the fight is. Is the fight that tigers are supposed to be in the wild? They're supposed to be vicious predators that murder and kill and rip apart bunnies until blood flies all over their faces. There are some people who believe that that's a tiger and that's what it should be. I don't think I believe that. I think that's a tiger and what it became. It's like the human race. Well, why did the tiger become a vicious predator that would rip apart children and not think twice? Well, because it had scarcity. It needed to evolve. It was a mammal. It evolved claws and teeth to rip apart flesh to eat. It wasn't supposed to become that. It became that because the environment it was in, like epigenetics. It's like human beings. You know, to make a case that tigers should be in the wild ripping apart each other and any cubs they can find is like saying human beings should have war. That's making a case to say human beings should be allowed to murder, rape, kill each other and destroy them. No, humans aren't violent. Humans are in violent situations and violent environments that make them violent. So I think tigers should be wild and free. I think humans should be wild and free. And now we have robots and automation and the things to give them everything they need so that they don't have to display the required evolutionary genes that make them violent, the warrior genes, to survive. We can turn those off. We can feed every tiger on this planet. We can literally grow meat. There's no reason for any predators in the wild kingdom or in humanity. And you can say that's breaking nature. Guess what? When we came here, we broke nature. Everything we do changes nature in every single way. I guess I don't like illogical arguments, but I don't really understand it. So I'm not like arguing one way or another. I like to think out loud, and I don't understand after watching Tiger King. I don't really understand, where they're standing. So I'm gonna read comments and see if I get the argument. I just don't. I love animals. I just don't get the argument. Oh, what's this? You can trust Donald to be Donald. That's it, Anna. I love that. Well, I'm going to catch up in my comments real quick. You can trust Donald to be Donald. That's it. Donald's going to be Donald's going to be Donald was born a cute little baby like everybody else. He became his environment, like a tiger. So he's going to be Donald. That's at the end of the day. Donald's not a god. Donald's not a demon. Donald is a Donald, just what a Barack is. So there's a rumor that the Fed has been merged with the Treasury. Not that I know or anything. Yeah, and they don't like to let us know that, Anna, till we're like can't do anything about it. Indian deities, I think Susan Vishnu is in the middle. Oh, okay. I don't know, Christine, but what is it? Oh, that's right. You know this. You know this real well. This was, what is the name of the group that created this? This is in a temple in India. It is a group of people, and I love what they believe. It's a religion. I love what they believe. They are called, no, don't get me saying Vril. It's not Vril. I'm going to say they're called the Christines. I don't know. No, the Jainism. That's what it's called. Jainism. They have some beautiful philosophy. Jainism. Okay, I just messed up. That's who created that. But it indicates that we're all connected. That we're all connected. It's beautiful. All right. Right on. The more love you can engender for a species, the longer it can exist, period. It isn't rocket science. And that's what I'm thinking, Anna. It's not rocket scientists. We can love all species, we can love the planet and all the ecosystems, but we have to stop letting ourselves be fooled into picking a team and fighting other people who believe and have the same passions we do. Everybody wants to be free. Everybody wants the tigers to be free. Everybody wants the tigers to be safe. All the humans want to be safe. And we don't need to join up with other groups of people because we have more numbers and we can force others to do what we tell them to do when we can love it out of them. Like that whole show, Tiger King. We could have fixed the whole show. if we literally how they just printed $2 trillion and gave it to Wall Street. What if we printed $2 million or $2 billion and gave it to the Tiger Kings and Queens and all the other people who love the tigers? The tigers would have thousands of acres to run, machines that print meat for them. We could even simulate hunts if y'all really want to see tigers grab a baby buffalo and rip it to shreds, PETA. If that's what you want to see. We could literally create, meat robots that are from meat that we grow that run and let a tiger hunt, but nothing gets hurt and nothing dies. But tigers only do that for food, and that's how they eat. And that's it, Anna. That was my point, is that we have the software and automation and the resources to end all predatory activity on the planet. We're just choosing not to. In a way, at the bacteria level, I can't say nothing about that. There's multicellular energy grabbing and conspiracies that happen all the time. And maybe in the future, that's for them to solve. But right now, we know we can end all predatory activity by humans, governments, states, neighbors, tigers, lions, and monkeys. We can make them all bonobos. And tigers just do it for food. They just had scarcity. We can end scarcity on the planet. All right. According to Plato, during the global age, I'm getting pop-ups. According to Plato, during the global age, all creatures on Earth lived in a primordial harmony with man. Wow, Susan, please send me a link for that if you got one. I want to look that up. Because that almost sounds like a Garden of Eden, doesn't it? Sounds like Eden. We can make it Eden. And maybe that's why we have that religion and the message we were given to be stewards on the planet, to create Eden or recreate it after it was destroyed. Maybe we were kicked out of Eden so we would make Eden all over the planet. But we just got lost in our path, and somebody created money in banks, and that sidetracked us. It put us in conflict with family around the world that we need to be loving violence out of. All right, what's that saying in the Bible? When the lion sleeps next to the inn, living in peace, we should move in that direction. I don't remember the analogy of a lion sleeping next to Ian, or the Ian. I'm not sure the Ian, the Ion. I'm not sure what we're saying there. Living in peace, we should move in that direction. Well, we should. Christine, I'll take that as a picture of the lion, the tiger, and the bear that live together in that zoo that nobody says should exist because zoos are horrible. If you didn't have the people who put the lion, the tiger, and the bear together, y'all know what I'm talking about? We wouldn't know that lions, tigers, and bears can all live next to each other. Lions, tigers, and bears, oh my, they get together, they're gonna all kill each other. Nope, they live in harmony. Here you go, right here. They live in harmony. Why do they live in harmony? Well, because at this preserve that has them, they grew up together. They don't have any scarcity. The bear has no reason to murder the lion has no reason to murder the bear, and the tiger got no reason to eat them. Food is coming. Everything is about the expending of energy. If you give Iran everything it needs, all the food, then the people don't want to invade and kill you and take your food or your land. Same thing with them. We can end everything predatory. All right, the lamb. Yes, okay, thank you. Thank you for that, Christine. Christine and Anna. Team effort. Absolutely. You put them together and things happen. As long as they have no requirement to utilize the teeth, claws, and pentagon they have, then they become beautiful, wonderful creatures. So we can solve that. We just have to choose to. Funny thing, the Bible talks about the lion playing next to the wolf, not a lion. Well, great example. Great example. Great examples of what we can do, but we don't do. Because, of course, we have preachers who focus on the Old Testament scriptures about the warring gods, which I don't think were gods, not a big G God. I think they were little g aliens or kings modifying scripture because they like conspiracy and control and domination. So they violate all the 10 commandments, all the rules, creating all the sin when they needed to get the people to steal the energy from other kingdoms. All right. That's it. I'm kind of peruse down the timeline. Let's show I got something else. I'm about to get out of here because Dr. Rashid is on. Oh no, it's not. No, in 30 minutes. Okay, in 30 minutes. He's going to do a new series, looks like, part 1 to 3, talking about the COVID. And why do I like Dr. Rashid Bahar, and I like Dr. Shiva, because they're doctors that turned on the medical system. And the same reason I appreciate Lori, because they turned on the medical system. If you can turn, like we talked about yesterday, if you can turn on the hand that feeds you, then there's something very beautiful about you. There's something beautiful about people who will turn away from the hand that feeds them when they know that hand is attached to something dirty. All right. See if there's anything else I want to hit on, and I'm gonna get going. I got work to do today. Oh, look at this right here, Brad Pitt. Ooh, and this is from the movie The Knowing. The Happening. Y'all should watch it. That's an important movie to study. The only facial expression I've had since it all started. Which is the right expression. That is the right expression. I watch people and it's just like, oh Lord, this is where we are. We all think it's, no. You already read that. All right, I'm about to go. I'm about to get out of here, unless we got something else. Oh, here we go. Ooh, I like this right. Ooh, thank you, Diana. Diana's in the house. This one right here. Don't let the poison of this world pull you from your path. Know what your path is. And don't let poison pull you. Don't let money, don't let power, don't let control, don't let conspiracy, don't let government, don't let anything pull you from what your passion is, what you are here to do. Don't let anything normalize psychopathy in you. Thank you, Sandra, for that word, normalization. Well, they're normalizing things that I don't think we understand the long-term result of, Sandra. I'm worried. I'm a little worried about it. Only because undoing it is going to be the job of children, the next generation. Who was it? I think it was Rogan I was listening to. Somebody mentioned that. You say, well, what do you think is going to happen to the movie theaters? They're going to go extinct because these people are so scared it's going to increase and it's not going to slow down, right? Nobody's going to go to the movies. So the movie theaters are going to close up and go out of business because people will be so scared they won't go to the movies, or you won't be allowed to go in the movie or the concert or the event or the funeral or the wedding or be in a group greater than 10 people unless you had your RFDI chip, your shot record. You won't be allowed to travel. You won't be allowed to do those things. And that's concerning. We can't normalize this idea of giving all power to people we don't even know, to a system. Yeah, it is a beautiful post, Christine. Great quote, great point. Be still and know that you are God. And that's it, Lori. Know that you're God. Know that your neighbors are God, your friends are God, the people you hate are gods, the people you like are gods, and God says, and treat them like that. More scripture. What does it say? That you have to love everyone because you never know who you're entertaining, because sometimes you entertain angels. But even still, everything is manifested. And that's why all you can do, another scripture, you owe no man or woman anything but to love them. Why? Because karma. Because you're entertaining a god or goddess. And when you create enough manifestation around the world where everybody's hoping that you get checkpoints in your country, that your country collapses, your economies collapse, that you get the same famines and poverty and war that you've deployed all over the planet, those chickens are going to come home to roost. Human beings are manifestation engines. You want to be in everybody's best graces if you can. You want the whole world wishing you well. We literally should be a world, if we're going to keep the nation concept, of nations who are just wishing well others and competing. No, we can do better for India than India is doing for India. No, we can do better for you, America. No, we can do better for Britain. We literally should be fighting like at Christmas time, but who can buy who the best gift. There are always rebels. Yes, they are. Our ancestors went through the hellish times. It makes you strong. Yes, it does, Lori. There are always rebels. That's right. And the good and evil work together. The tares and wheats grow together, because it pushes, the tares make the wheat push deeper roots, makes the wheat grow taller, makes the wheat healthier, makes the wheat stronger in this circumstance. Good and evil, the yin and the yang, it must all be together. Mandela effect. When the lion lays down with the lamb, it's a wolf and a lamb. Well, the Mandela effect, if I'm not mistaken, is where right on the whole time machine things change. We think back, things are different for different people because of string theory, we're jumping into different universes and stuff like that. When the lion lays down with the lamb, it's a wolf and a lamb. I agree with that, Rebecca. But also when the lion stands up next to the lamb, it's a wolf and a lamb. When the Gerard is online, Gerard's a Gerard and a Rebecca. We're all one, we're all connected, we're all twisted and intertwined, and everything's connected, and Jennifer, everything's possible. Twister, everything is possible. Nothing is impossible, everything is nothing, nothing is everything. Absolutely, Jennifer. As crazy as that sounds, it is true. We're all connected and we're all everything. Isaiah 6. I'm gonna have to pull this closer because I have the worst eyes on this planet. No, I'm not manifesting. I got the best eyes on this planet. I got to manifest the right things. I am 29. I got great eyes. Hang on. Isaiah 11:6 commentaries. Isaiah 11:7. Isaiah 11:5. Wolf laying down with the lamb. Okay, the analogy. I'm so inspired by my patients. They dialyze themselves at home. They take their meds and watch their diets. They are strong, used to living on the edge. They all had masks at home to keep their tube sterile before this. They do not whine. You think it's fear, Lori? Do you think fear did that? Because I don't know a whole lot about dialysis and the conditions that you have to live and what has to happen before you get there. But is that an example of the tares in the wheat? Is that an example of you go through hard times and it makes you stronger, makes you wiser, and you become greater because of it? They went through something rough and now they got to get dialysis, so they've changed their diet. They've become powerful, strong, beautiful people, and they're just slowly pushing in these directions that are great examples for us. They have me at their backs. Yes, and Lori, and that manifests back. And so Lori, and there's a good example of manifestation. And so you've got people who can call on Lori 24 by 7 to go help save their lives that they're all wishing well to. All of that energy is being manifested back into Lori. All of that positivity, all of that love. Nobody wants, none of them want to invade Lori and steal her oil. None of them want to invade Lori and steal her land. None of them are wishing a police state on Lori, because Lori's just giving them love, and that love is coming back. When you're dealing with gods and goddesses, they're manifestation engines. You got to do everything you can to make sure that you are manifesting beautiful things in them, and they're manifesting beautiful things back in you. All right. All righty then. Who's that? Post something. I'm about to wrap this up. It goes back to people doing what's right. I sent my daughter out yesterday, and it turns out there was a guy who was on the same plane and knew he already had the virus. Like, what the fudge? Yeah, see, Sandra, and that is an issue. I mean, wish on to others what you want on yourself. Right? You know, I don't believe in this whole, what they call it, social distancing. I don't believe in that because it's stupid. We already knew that. You know, you don't have to actually say it. At flu season, you don't go to work because you don't want to get anybody sick. We learned that as kids, didn't we, Sandra? Growing up, you didn't go to school because you didn't want your friends to get sick too. But we have people who do that. And it makes no sense to me as to why. I'm telling each of them how amazing they are as they come in for their monthly labs, manifesting beautiful things, sending out love into the ethos, the love you want to come back. Wrapping Sandra's daughter in a net of powerful love. Absolutely, and wish her well and wish that she's strong and safe. And whether viruses can be contracted or the excretion of cells or started with bacteria or whatever, none of that matters. But what we all believe is Sandra's daughter is fine. Sandra's daughter is completely okay. And manifest that, you know, and we get back that same manifestation. And I like the world this way. I love that this is the world. I love that this world only you reap what you sow. You get back what you put out. That's the only way you have a beautiful world. Whatever created this model was genius. Right? You'll never have peace unless you want that in others. You'll never not have checkpoints in your city unless you don't put checkpoints in anybody else's city. You don't have peace in your nation until you manifest peace in the world. And that will make the people who are the most powerful on the planet have to subdue themselves into a balance of creating something beautiful in the world. Every single place I go in public, there's somebody around that is sick. Well, that's true, Rebecca, right? Because it's flu season. It is flu season. And if there's something worse out there, more nefarious, we have to be sure to not make it worse by manifesting any more fear than what it's already got. I want to take a look at I get these pop-ups for the news every now and then. I read headlines. I don't watch the news. There's something about reading the news. I like reading the news more. I got my local news app. Breaking news from Smart News. It's been buzzing like crazy. The world could be coming to an end. I might need to be running up there with that brother Hunter to Oregon. China concealed extent of the virus outbreak, U.S. intelligence says. Well, I believe that. I don't actually need to be told that. I actually know that's what they do. That's what they've always done. That's what America does. That's what our intelligence agency does, which is funny that they're telling us that. The cruise ships struck at sea cruise ships are stuck at sea indefinitely amid coronavirus pandemic. That's stupid, and it's a bad idea to force people to die in a boat that we can give a little plot of land to where they can go live in isolation from each other in 3D printed houses that if we took any of that $2 trillion to do anything smart with, instead of just giving it to our criminal friends on Wall Street, we wouldn't have that problem. Those people wouldn't be stuck out in that boat. Rikers Island prisoner being offered PPE and $6 an hour to dig mass graves. Ooh, you shouldn't have any mass graves, and nobody should be in Rikers Island. That's a really stupid idea. You need to let everybody out them prisons, let them into big gardens where they can be cared for and loved. Yeah, we got to have some forgiveness. Or there are some violent people in prison, and usually we keep them in there to make them more violent, not to put them in healing situations so that the little cute baby that they were when they first got here before the environment made them into a violent person, you can flip them back. Stimulus check, 5 things the IRS wants you to know. Well, you know me. I don't think there should be an IRS. So, okay, then I got all my little Twitter things. I'm getting all kind of little pop-up things. Ooh, Trump said something. Trump urges Americans to be prepared for very painful time as confirmed U.S. cases approach 200,000. Yes, and he's right. Not because of the virus, but because of what government's going to do because of the fear from the virus. Americans need to be prepared. And I think they're trying Trump. They're all going out on doomsday preppers and they're looking how to prepare for themselves. I just disagree with doomsday preppers as a model because they keep talking about defending themselves and self. There were a few on there who talked about community. Community is where your strength comes from. It does not come from being a greedy bastard and hiding in a bunker and expecting people to not know you're down there and not piss in the hole after they're hungry. You got all the food. Oh, Senator Loa Flurflur, whoever that is, invested in firm to make protective medical garments. Oh, that's so nice. But as senators, as an organization, if you have a model of making more drones and protective garments, making more military uniforms than protective garments, then I don't really care. To me, that's a drop in the bucket. McConnell said something, whoever he is. Impeachment diverted attention from coronavirus. Well, I agree with that, but impeachment, it diverted attention from everything important. Literally, who is McConnell? What does he do? If he's with the federal government, everything that they do averts attention from everything important. Everything they do averts attention from feed the world, be nice, be kind, take care of people, do the right things, invest long term, and be smart. So, but everything's always selective. They keep pointing you in the right direction. I got tons of pop-ups. Ooh, The Good Fight returns to CBS. I don't think I watched that. Oh, it was Arlene Cruz. Hey, thank you for subscribing, Arlene Cruz. I got a pop-up on my little device, even though it didn't make up on the screen. Nice to meet you, sis. All right, last couple comments, and I'm gonna get to going. I could only tag 50 people for the meditation, so I started inviting others. Sorry if I missed anyone. Please share and invite your friends too. Thank you, Kimberly Jackson. I will share that also as well. And we really need to be meditating daily on world peace. I'm not, but you know what? I'm gonna say this. I'm not a meditator on stop the coronavirus. I'm not one of those. I'm a meditator on fix the human race. Help the human race to fix itself so the viruses that have always existed on this planet don't do the devastation that they do when they come. For life to not return to normal, because normal was psychopathically driven and stupid, a conflict-based survival of the fittest society that should have never existed to begin with. I will meditate on the world becoming peaceful and the world transitioning into a paradigm shift where everybody finds the pleasant things that they need in life so that the whole predatory lifestyle goes away, from the tigers to the human beings, from the daycares over toys the kindergartners, and over cookies and milk, to the grades that we're in conflict with each other, to the conflict we have for degrees to force the poor people to the bottom of the pyramid so we can be a little higher up. All the conflict to end, all the way up to war, because it's all the same thing. It's all the same energy. So I will be meditating on beauty in the world and the world becoming what it should become. That will spread sickness like wildfire on a boat. Yes, it will, Lord, which is a bad idea. But the people who are privileged to not be on the boat are okay with that. I'm sure the people on the boat are not okay with that. I've been calling a few of my students each day because we all miss the connection and meditating, practicing together. People are getting rest, not getting lonely. People are getting rest, but getting lonely. Yeah, and that is a scary part, Sandra, is that people who get lonely, depression sets in. Thank you for that. Thank you for taking care of our brothers and sisters down there, because when people get depressed, when depression sets in, suicides go up, a lot of bad things can happen. It is a tax credit, not a check. Well, it's both, Lori. So it is a check. They literally send out a check, but it's a tax credit. So, which means effectively that you'll get a credit against your next income, which means to a degree you are going to be paying it back in taxes. I said that right. So it's literally a scam. The bottom line is they're not giving you cash for you because they love you. You get to keep it as you. It's a tax credit. So you file it on your taxes and it'll take down your taxable income, if I understand that right. Let me see. We can meditate together without being in the same place. It gives a great connection and a lot of positive power, one unity. Yes, Christine, because the places don't exist. Separation is an illusion, and we're always together, and everything we meditate on affects everybody else. It's not hippie, it's just real. And there's scientific studies that indicate that what the ancients told us that 5,000 years ago is real. We are manifestation engines. We should be manifesting beauty at all times. Lori's a godsend. Yes, Sandra, she is. And Sandra is a godsend. Diarrhea on a cruise ship. Yeah. To be fair, Trump held a roundtable on COVID in mid-January. Yeah, and Anna, like Trump does good things, Trump does bad things. Gerard does good things, Gerard does bad things. But Gerard is not going to sit in judgment over Trump, over Anna, over Lori, Christine, Kimberly, Susan, or anybody else. Because what does Gerard know? Gerard knows he's connected to all those people, and if you're any of those people, he'd be those people. All we can do is owe nobody any other thing other than to love them. That's it. Thank you, G. You're a breath of fresh air. We all need a daily dose. Love you all. But thank you, Sandra. And by that, because Sandra and G are not disconnected, you're thanking Sandra. We're all one. I'm a meditator for the highest good and best version of all beings in existence. Beautiful, Kimberly. And that's what we need to meditate on. Not that America will return to its normal state of being a psychopathic killer, stealing resources. Meditating on letting the natural energies of love, light, and understanding and kindness, etc., around all over the earth. Thank you, Susan. And thank y'all for being here. I appreciate everybody and the perspectives that you bring, the love that you bring. And that's the only reason that I can make it through this nonsense and I smile, is because the beautiful people who tend to jump in and we have these great little conversations. Everything we do, we go through together. We don't need the internet for that, just in case it goes down. If it does go down, I'll be right there with you. You'll be right there with me, and all these other people will be right there with you. There is no such thing as division. So anyway, this is Gerard. Listen, karma is the result of collective manifestation. You want people around the world manifesting beautiful things in your life, but you got to manifest beautiful things in their life. We need to act how We need to be the change we want to see in the world. We don't want checkpoints, but we send them all over the world, so they're coming here. All we can do at this point is start to come together and modify that collective manifestation of all the global hate we've built up for 5,000 years. Just not about America and what we've been doing recently. It's since man had scarcity like a tiger in the wild kingdom. We don't have to be wild anymore. Anyway, this is Gerard. I got to go. Love y'all to death. And yes, this should be the national anthem. Thank you, Pat Riley, for this exit song. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Do you want to be free? Do you want to free people? Well, if you're a people, you do. You want to free the tigers. You want to free the fish. You want to free the monkeys. You want to free Iran. You want to free Russia, free China, free America, free next door, free New York City, free Yemen, free everybody. Close down all the zoos, all the financial zoos, the kindergartens, the schools, have school marms, some homeschooling. Close down everything that even looks like a cage. All right, gotta go. It's Pat Riley. This is Gerard. That's Pat Riley singing. Free the people. Y'all have a wonderful day. God bless you. I'm out.